So, how is the Flying Croissant of Doom in 9th edition, the Necron Doom Scythe? Let's find out. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today we're going to have a look at the Necron Doom Scythe for 9th edition. I've been following what a lot of people have been saying about this unit. And to be honest with you, I've had mixed messages. Some people loving it, using it all the time, and some people just disregarding it. So I wanted to have a closer look at this unit because, well, I've not really used the Doom Scythe much, well, since it's been released. Now, to be honest with you, I've never really been into flyers ever since they were released, I think in 5th edition. I don't know why, I just couldn't get into them. I owned one, I've used it a few times, but I've never used the 3 Doom Scythe list. Something which I was planning to do. I actually own a lot more Doom Scythes now, but, well, sadly, that list is gone. Or at least the stratagem which made that list really good has gone. So, coming in at 200 points, which, to be fair, is a reasonable amount of points, especially when you compare it to the very popular heavy support choice, the Doom Stalker. And looking at the stats, there hasn't been any change there. The actual stats line is exactly the same, with the exception of the maximum move range, which of course has been slightly adjusted for the new, smaller sized 9th edition boards. But what about its guns? Oh, by the way, if you want to learn about Necrons, then why not subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Now, it's fair to say the Doom Scythe's guns have got a lot better, the death ray in particular. The range of the gun has increased to 36 inches from 24. Now, this vehicle moves quite fast, so 24 usually is okay. However, 36, that makes quite a big difference, especially if you're on the edge of the board and you need to reach over the other side of the table. The amount of shots have also got better. It used to be a random D3 and now it's a fixed 3 shots. Not only that, but the strength has increased, strength 12 now, where it was strength 10. The AP of the gun has stayed the same at -4, however, the damage has changed. It used to be a random D6 damage, and now it's a D3 plus 3 damage. That's a minimum damage of 4. There's no need now to waste a CP re-rolling the damage. D3 plus 3, awesome. Now you be quiet, Gizmo, yeah? I'm recording a video. Gizmo, my adopted guinea pig. Now, just like the Annihilation Barge, the twin Tesla destructors have also got better. 36 inches as opposed to 24, and now a heavy 10 shots rather than an assault 8. So a couple of extra shots, and of course, as a vehicle, there's no -1 penalties when you shoot this gun. So that's pretty good. Strength 7 and 0 AP, and we maintain the explodes rule on a 6. However, of course, it's an unmodified roll of a 6 now, but still, that's a good amount of shots for anti-infantry. So we have a big gun to take out monsters and vehicles, and then a reasonably strengthed, high-volumed, smaller gun to take out infantry and other things. The Doom Scythe is pretty good at shooting. Okay, there's not many people on this section coming up, so I'll record it here. The Doom Scythe still has living metals, and of course it's gained command protocols. It still explodes in exactly the same way, and of course it's got the supersonic rule, which has had a slight change to how it advances, but it's basically the same. It's still -1 to hit for your enemy against ranged attacks. It also has the airborne special rule, meaning that only fly units can assault you. It's gained the airborne special rule, which basically means now we can use strategic reserves, put the Doom Scythe in reserve, and then we can deep strike it from turn 2 onwards. 9 inches away from your enemy, yes, 9 inches away. Now, if we reserved the Doom Scythe, that certainly would maybe help it survive a little bit more if you don't get the first turn. However, of course, it means it's off the board on turn 1. However, we have lost, of course, the very powerful targeting data stratagem for 3 Doom Scythes. But if you look at the detachments now in the flyer section, well, they're all 2 flyers, so maybe that's why they've changed that stratagem. We have a new stratagem. It's called Etastic Instigation. Stupid Necron names. Under the right circumstances, maybe it could be useful, giving either mortal wounds or potentially taking away the overwatch from a unit. Pretty useful, but definitely circumstantial. So let's have a quick look at what other people are saying about the Doom Scythe. This is what I found, at least, on my travels around the internet. It's not bad, it's just a bit overcosted. It suffers from fragile vehicle syndrome. The enemy are going to have to make sure they allocate enough firepower to take it out, because they can't afford to have that thing flying loose. Run 2 and you have your anti-vehicle done and dusted. Running 2 is normally the way to go, but 1 works fine, depending on the army you're facing. The updated death ray causes total panic. It's a fair few points for basically a kamikaze unit. So what are the advantages of taking a Doom Scythe over Doomsday Arcs or Doom Stalkers? Well, one key thing here is the fact that it's not a heavy support choice, of course. It's a flyer, and you can have 2 flyers in a list, making your Doom Scythes your big guns. And that would free up your heavy support slots for maybe annihilation barges, destroyers or heavy destroyers. Now previously we were locked into taking the Sotec dynasty for this unit to negate the fact that when you moved you were -1 to your weapon skill. Well, that of course in 9th edition has gone, so we're not locked in to that dynasty. We could take other dynasties and that could be quite useful. You could use custom dynasties and give your Doom Scythes a 6+ invulnerable save. Not that great, but certainly it might help them survive. And don't forget, when you do start to lose wounds on the Doom Scythe, you do have the stratagem allowing you to shoot as if you were at the top tier. The workmen have followed me. And of course, Mefrit Dynasty is also a very good option. That's extra -1 at half range, and of course, now with 36 inches, that half range is much bigger. And -5 AP on those big guns, unless your opponent has an invulnerable save. No saves for them. And of course, well, -1 AP on those smaller guns. Again, 36 inches is quite easy to get at half range. Mefrit Dynasty, that's a winner. However, it is a bit expensive and, of course, fairly fragile. Now, you could buy almost 3 Doomstalkers for the price of 2 Doom Scythes. And, of course, Doomstalkers have the advantage. They're on the ground and, of course, they can hold objectives, something which a flyer can't do. I think the Doom Scythe is definitely playable, either 2 or 1 in a list. And as I said, as a flyer, you can also get some of your other heavy support units in the list as well as backup if they do go down quickly. But of course, 200 points at the moment is a good amount of points to invest in this unit. Now, I'd love to know what you think of the Doom Scythe. Have you been playing it in 9th edition and how have you got on? Let me know in the comments box below, because I plan to play the Doom Scythes in some of my future battle reports now that we can actually start gaming again. Yes! In the meantime, here is a playlist of my other Necron tactical videos for you to watch next.